Welcome to the GSMC Fitness Podcast, the show that helps you sort through all of the trends, new and old, of the fitness world. We'll talk about yoga, running, Zumba, weightlifting, and everything in between. Whether you've got your fitness routine down to a science or you're just starting out and looking for direction, you'll find educational and entertaining information on the GSMC Fitness Podcast.
What's up, guys, and welcome to GSMC Fitness Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I'm your host, Cynthia, and happy Wednesday, everyone. It is midweek. I hope you all are having a fabulous day, fabulous week, and are, one step closer to meeting your goals, whether that be fitness, health related or not. Right before I started recording, I was actually cackling to myself because I had posted on my story this funny video of me trying to do a headstand, and in slow-mo, I edited it. Okay, so in that headstand that I was doing, I flipped backwards, so my back was all bent in a weird way. So there's this very explicit and inappropriate song called My Neck, My Back. I will not sing the lyrics because they're pretty explicit, and I'm trying to keep this podcast PG, but I played that song over the video of me trying to do a headstand because it's, supposed to be a joke, something that millennials, Gen Z crowd would laugh and understand the joke. And I posted it on my story, right? And of course, my mom, she has zero tolerance for that type of music. She does not like explicit lyrics, things that say really vulgar things. So she commented on my story, and just her reply was really hilarious. And she said it in Spanish. So she basically just said, I'm going to try my best to translate it. She said, "This song is horrendous. Aren't you embarrassed?" And I said, "It's a joke. Ha ha ha." And she put es caca, which is it sounds funnier in Spanish than in English. That's why it's kind of hard to understand. But for my Spanish speakers out there, you understand how funny her response is. She's not actually upset with me. I mean, she's been telling me all my life, basically, she doesn't like explicit music. And when I work out, especially during quarantine at home in the backyard, I'm playing, music that has explicit lyrics. And she always just gives me a side eye, but she's used to it. But anyway, that's why I'm cackling to myself right before I started recording today's episode, just because that just popped in my head because it happened 10 minutes ago. Anyway, not that you guys care, but for those of you who care to know a little bit about my life, there's my mom for you. Anyway, I'm also really happy because I made a huge purchase over the weekend. Your girl bought herself a car, a brand new car, and I'm feeling so incredibly blessed and grateful. I have basically been carless since October. I was driving a 2002 BMW, worst decision of my life to invest in that car, especially when my funds weren't all together. For those of you who drive BMWs or Mercedes, the, luxury cars, they never tell you how expensive it's going to be as far as the maintenance and all of that horrendous stuff, okay? And so it just wasn't worth me investing money into that car anymore. It was already old. It kept breaking down on me. It was hurting my pockets. So I decided to sell that car. And in the meantime, I had to share my brother's car, which I know he was not the biggest fan of because I basically had priority over his car since I'm the one who's commuting a lot and he works in town. So my mom would drive him, drop him off. It was just a hassle. I mean, we made it work. Luckily, we didn't have too many interferences or conflicts with our schedules. But for all of my listeners out there who, share cars, it's not the most ideal situation. But regardless, we made it work. And thankfully, I finally bought myself my own car over the weekend. So I'm feeling very blessed, very happy that I was able to make that purchase. So anyway, I'm done talking about my personal life. Let's get into what we're really here to talk about. It's a subject that I'm really excited to discuss since this is kind of new in like the fitness health game. In just the recent years, it has became widely popular, has still becoming widely popular amongst the fitness and health and wellness community, and that is cryotherapy. And I personally have never tried cryotherapy, but I'm very intrigued to do it. Right before, the lockdown again, the second round of lockdown occurred, I was already starting to get the idea of trying, I was actually looking for IV drip therapy around my area here, which I will dedicate an entire episode to IV drip therapy, in the next few episodes, because that's a whole other ballgame as well I want to touch on. But anyway, I was looking for IV drip therapies in my area, especially with, COVID still around. We're in a whole global health pandemic. It's really important to take care and boost our immune system. And I've heard that IV drip is one of the perfect alternatives to do that. And, it's basically, anyway, I won't get into IV drips, but I was looking for IV drip therapies in my area for them to come to my house. And in that search, I found a lot of hyper wellness clinics that offer cryotherapy, along with IV drip therapy. So that's kind of how my interest sparked in terms of, wanted to talk about cryotherapy. I've heard about the term as well, mainly with athletes. I've seen, athletes. It's basically, to me, how I envision cryotherapy. You're basically in like a really tall, like standing hot tub where only your head pokes out. But it's not a hot tub, of course, because cryotherapy is cold therapy. And it's like vapor. I don't know. I'll get into really what it is in the later segment, but I've heard a lot of amazing things about cryotherapy. The biggest one that I've heard that people swear by is that you're basically in this like enclosed chamber for a couple minutes, and it's like really, really, really cold. And supposedly like that freezing cold temperature is supposed to do many things, such as release endorphins, increase your metabolism, decrease joint and muscle pain, and even helps, I don't know if it's like freeze or burn like that stubborn fat cells. I'm not 100% sure, but again, we will discuss in greater detail these benefits of whole body cryotherapy. We're also going to be touching on cryotherapy facials, local cryotherapy, so much more. And I'm really excited to talk about this subject. I'm sure that many of you who are listening as well have probably heard of the term, or maybe you've never heard of the term. And now, I've sparked your interest as far as this new hyper wellness treatment that has been going around in the health and wellness and fitness game. So, like I just mentioned, cryotherapy literally means cold therapy, and it's a technique where the body is exposed to extremely cold temperatures for several minutes. Usually I've heard anywhere from like 2 to 4 minutes. You usually don't want to be in that thing for any longer because, like I said, it is extremely, extremely, extremely cold. And if you're someone like me who is not the biggest fan of cold temperatures, then even 2 minutes is going to seem like hell, right? Funny that I say that's kind of ironic because hell is, supposed to be hot, but you're in an enclosed chamber that's really cold. So anyway, that is essentially what cryotherapy is. It is cold therapy. I want to know right now in the comments before we go any further, which one of you who has tried cryotherapy? What were your thoughts? How was the process? Did you like it? And would you recommend it to a friend? Let me know in the comments, how was your experience, because I would really like to know. And we're going to cut into a very brief break right now. And when we come back, more on cryotherapy.
Do you want to be healthier, yet you just don't know what to do? All these shows telling you this and that, but nothing seems to work. Well, listen close. Golden State Media Concepts has got something great for you. The Health and Wellness Podcast dedicated to workout trends, healthy eating habits, diet, and everything about healthy living. Join us in our banters as we help you not just live life to the fullest, but live it to the healthiest.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to GSMC Fitness Podcast. So as I just mentioned in the previous segment, cryotherapy is cold therapy. That's what it literally means. And again, it's just a technique where the body's exposed to extremely cold temperatures for several minutes. In simplest terms, right? That's what cryotherapy means. And cryotherapy can be delivered to just one area, or you can opt for the whole body cryotherapy, which is what I've seen a lot through Instagram, through fitness influencers, fitness people I follow. I've been exposed to seeing the whole body cryotherapy. And there's also localized cryotherapy, and localized cryotherapy can be administered in a number of ways, including through ice packs, ice massage, coolant sprays, ice baths, and even through probes administered into tissue. So if you've ever, been you've gotten yourself injured and you're trying to reduce pain with like an icy hot pack or like just an ice pack, then you yourself have experienced cryotherapy to some degree. You don't need to do a whole body cryotherapy session at a clinic. You don't need to, spend a lot of dollars into doing a whole body cryotherapy. Even just an ice massage or doing an ice bath, which I know a lot of athletes do, or just to minimize inflammation from working out. Ice baths, ice packs, all of that is some form of cryotherapy. The theory for whole body cryotherapy, also known as WBC, is that by immersing the body in extremely cold air for several minutes, you could receive a number of health benefits. And the individual will stand in an enclosed chamber or a small enclosure that surrounds their body but has an opening for their head at the top. That's why I told you guys earlier that to me, when I try to explain to somebody what whole body cryotherapy is, the first thing that comes to my mind is that it's basically like a really tall hot tub. I don't know why hot tub, but like a standing hot tub where only your head peeks out. So in the enclosed chamber, your actual neck and head are not submerged into the freezing cold temperatures, because I think literally your brain will freeze. So it's just from the shoulders down that are in the enclosed chamber. And you stand in this enclosed chamber, and you guys, it's actually insane how freaking cold it gets. The enclosure will drop to between negative 200 to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Can you guys even wrap your mind around how cold those temperatures are? I mean, I know me, I'm a California girl over here, right? So anything that drops below like 65, 70 degrees, I'm over here shaking in, goosebumps. So I can't even imagine being in negative 200 to 300 degree Fahrenheit. And you'll stay in this ultra low temperature air for between 2 and 4 minutes. So you see why the cryotherapy session is extremely short, literally a couple minutes. And it's because your body literally cannot withstand being in these ultra low temperatures for much longer than 4 minutes. So that's why the sessions are really short. And it said you can get benefits from just one session of cryotherapy, but it's most effective when used regularly. Of course, just like working out, basically anything that you do, you want to try and build some type of consistency, some type of schedule routine, so that way you are able to receive the most optimal benefits, right? If you do this just once in a while, here and there, once a month, you'll get some immediate benefit, but it won't really last you for a long time. So again, if you are thinking about doing cryotherapy, try to, do it regularly. Some athletes use cryotherapy twice a day. I would assume athletes, meaning like professional athletes, people who play in the league. Others will go daily for 10 days and then once a month afterwards. So my suggestion would probably be to talk to your healthcare provider, to your, maybe your athletic trainer, see what they recommend. Probably a healthcare provider. So that way you are not overexposing your body to these ultra low temperatures, but you also want to make sure that you're effectively reaping the benefits of cryotherapy. And I do want to put this out there that cryotherapy isn't just for athletes. I think that's like one of the biggest misconceptions when it comes to like utilizing cryotherapy, whether it be whole body cryotherapy in that enclosed chamber or doing ice baths. It's believed that everyone and anyone can benefit from whole body cryotherapy. Again, it's a really short treatment of a couple minutes to 4 minutes that's said to reduce inflammation, release endorphins, and help alleviate pain and so much more. So whether you're an elite athlete in training or you're a post-op patient trying to supplement PT, physical therapy, or just to the person that is in chronic pain looking for an alternative form of relief. It's said that anyone can go in and experience whole body cryotherapy, and you can see for yourself how literally refreshing it is to do the therapy. And now for the exciting part, we're going to be going through the benefits, the claims of cryotherapy, what patients have said have, these amazing effects that have come from doing these whole body cryotherapy sessions. So the first one is said that cryotherapy will reduce migraine symptoms. Cryotherapy can help treat migraines by cooling and numbing nerves in the neck area. One study found that applying a neck wrap containing 2 frozen ice packs to the carotid arteries in the neck significantly reduced migraine pain in those tested. It's also thought that this works by cooling the blood passing through the intracranial vessels, and the carotid arteries are close to the skin surface and accessible. Next, cryotherapy is said to numb nerve irritation. Many athletes have been using cryotherapy to treat injuries for years, and one of the reasons why is that it can numb pain. The cold can actually numb an irritated nerve, and doctors will treat the affected area with a small probe inserted into the nearby tissue. And this can help treat pinched nerves or neuromas, chronic pain, or even acute injuries. Next, cryotherapy is said to help treat mood disorders. The ultra cold temperatures in whole body cryotherapy can cause physiological hormonal responses, and this includes the release of adrenaline, noradrenaline, and endorphins. This can have a positive effect on those experiencing mood disorders like anxiety and depression. One study found that whole body cryotherapy was actually effective in short-term treatment for both. Next, it's also said that cryotherapy can help reduce arthritic pain. Localized cryotherapy treatment isn't the only thing that's effective at treating serious conditions. One study found that whole body cryotherapy significantly reduced pain in people with arthritis. They found that the treatment was well tolerated. It also allowed for more aggressive physiotherapy and occupational therapy as a result. And this ultimately made rehabilitation programs much more effective. Next, it's also said that this cold therapy may help treat low-risk tumors. Targeted localized cryotherapy can be used as a cancer treatment. In this context, it's called cryosurgery, which we will get into in the later segment. And it basically works by freezing cancer cells and surrounding them with ice crystals. It's currently being used to treat some low-risk tumors for certain types of cancer, including prostate cancer. This is something that I didn't know, and I think it's a pretty cool fact that, it's an alternative form of surgery, and it can possibly help treat low-risk tumors, which, again, we'll get more into how exactly that is in the later segment when we touch on cryosurgery. So you guys, we're going to cut into a very brief break right now. And when we come back, more on the benefits of cryotherapy.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to GSMC Fitness Podcast. So we're going to continue on with the conversation with the amazing benefits people have experienced following a few sessions of cryotherapy. And the next amazing benefit or claim is said that it may help prevent dementia and Alzheimer's disease. While more research is needed to evaluate the effectiveness of this strategy, it's theorized that whole body cryotherapy could help prevent Alzheimer's and other types of dementia. It's thought that this may be an effective treatment because the antioxidative and anti-inflammatory effects of cryotherapy could help combat the inflammatory and oxidative stress responses that occur with Alzheimer's. So it literally, the brain chemicals are contradicting one another, right? Since cryotherapy is said to help release endorphins, and endorphins are the happy chemical that's released from the brain that you experience, after a workout or now since after cryotherapy, and it literally counteracts that of inflammatory and oxidative stress responses. Next, cryotherapy is said to treat atopic dermatitis and other skin conditions. Atopic dermatitis is a chronic inflammatory skin disease with signature symptoms of dry and itchy skin. Because cryotherapy can improve antioxidant levels in the blood and can simultaneously reduce inflammation, it makes sense that both localized and whole body cryotherapy can help treat atopic dermatitis. Another study examined its effects for acne, targeting the sebaceous glands. Now, with all of those things said, again, I'll review some of the amazing benefits of cryotherapy. Again, it's said to reduce migraine and symptoms, numbs nerve irritation, helps treat mood disorders, reduce arthritic pain, may help treat low-risk tumors, may help prevent dementia and Alzheimer's disease, and treat atopic dermatitis and other skin conditions. And not to mention, that it's also said to help boost your metabolic rate. It activates brown adipose tissue or brown fat, causing your body to burn more calories, as well as collagen production. It prevents the breakdown of collagen and boosts collagen production. So it's said to have amazing skin benefits as well, which is why a lot of people have been doing cryofacials. Again, it's basically just like really cold vapor being thrown in, blasted in your face. And it's said to tighten your pores and feeling your skin really, flawless. I think that's why a lot of times we've heard estheticians tell us that in the morning you should splash your water with cold water. Not only is it energizing and it's supposed to wake you up, but it's also said to help tighten your pores in the morning. So I do that in the morning. I do wash my face with cold water, and then at nighttime, for my nighttime skin routine, I tend to wash with a little bit lukewarm water. That way I can open up my pores a little bit more, and all my serums and stuff can seep a little bit deeper into my skin. So, like I said, with all of the amazing benefits that we just went through regarding cryotherapy, like anything and everything in life, there's always some possible risks and side effects that can occur from utilizing this treatment. So, the most common side effects of any type of cryotherapy are numbness, tingling, redness, and irritation of the skin. These side effects are almost always temporary, and they're really, really common. You've probably yourself have experienced one, if not all of these side effects from leaving, say, an ice pack on your skin for too long, right? You start to feel tingling, it gets red, maybe a little bit of numbness, irritation. Those are pretty normal side effects of cryotherapy. Whether you do whole body cryotherapy, you do ice baths, you use an ice pack to place on like a sore joint. Really typical temporary side effects. So don't freak out if this happens to you after a cryotherapy session. However, with that being said, if you do continue to experience these side effects of numbness, tingling, redness, and irritation of the skin for more than 24 hours, then definitely hit up your doctor and make an appointment to try to resolve the issue and see what's going on. Also, it's said that you should never use cryotherapy for longer than is recommended for the method of therapy you're using. So for whole body cryotherapy, this would be more than 4 minutes. So when you're doing the whole body cryotherapy, again, meaning when you're in that enclosed chamber, the tall hot tub, as I like to call it, you shouldn't do it for more than 4 minutes. And if you're using an ice pack or doing an ice bath at home, you should never apply ice to the area for more than 20 minutes. Never be in the ice bath for more than 20 minutes. Again, it can lead to really damaging effects. And another really important thing that doctors are saying, and I knew this, but I'm going to remind you guys, when you're utilizing ice packs, wrap a towel over the ice pack first before you apply it to the skin. If you've applied an ice pack directly onto the surface of your skin, then you've probably have experienced that tightness and redness and tingling. And like when you try to take the ice pack off, it almost burns because it feels it's pulling on your skin. Yeah, we don't want that, right? So wrap a towel over it first and then place the ice pack on the surface of your skin. I'm sure many of you already do this already, but you know, it's good to remind you guys, right? So again, cryotherapy sessions, whole body cryotherapy sessions, no more than 4 minutes. When doing an ice bath at home, no more than 20 minutes. And if you're using an ice pack, no more than 20 minutes, as suggested by doctors. In addition, those with diabetes or any conditions that affect their nerves should not use cryotherapy. Again, let me reiterate. Those with diabetes or any conditions that affect their nerves should not use cryotherapy. Here's why. These individuals may be unable to fully feel its effect of the cryotherapy, which could lead to further nerve damage. So if you already experience some type of discomfort like sciatica, I'd say, you probably want to stay away from cryotherapy. It can actually do more damage than good in terms of your nerves. I know that I said in the previous segment that one of the benefits of cryotherapy is that it can numb nerve irritation. But for those who already have some type of condition that affects their nerves, you may want to stay away from this as it can lead to further longer lasting nerve damage than healing it, right? So we do not want that, okay? Again, always just talk to your doctor first, see if this is the best option for you. Overall, doctors do say that cryotherapy is a pretty safe alternative. It's pretty safe for most individuals. However, there are a select few that may be more at risk. So, like I said, just always talk to your doctor about implementing a new health and wellness treatment, therapy session, whatever the case may be. So we're going to come to another very brief break right now. And when we come back, we're going to be talking about some tips and guidelines for cryotherapy.
The GSMC Life and Happiness Podcast takes you on a journey of exploration. We'll discuss tried and true methods alongside the latest trends of how to best live your life to its fullest and happiest. From psychology to meditation, science to self-help books, the GSMC Life and Happiness Podcast will help you to discover what makes you happy and how you can live life being the best you possible. Download the GSMC Life and Happiness Podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, or anywhere you find podcasts. Just type GSMC in the search bar.
Hey guys, and welcome back to GSMC Fitness Podcast. So we're just near the end here, wrapping up the last segment for today's episode. So I hope you guys have been tuning in, taking some notes. And like I said, we're now going to be reviewing some tips and guidelines for cryotherapy, especially for my newbies out there who want to get into cryotherapy. As far as cryotherapy, the whole body cryotherapy, right? I'm talking about that in the enclosed chamber, not, ice baths or ice packs. So if you have any conditions you want to treat with cryotherapy, make sure you discuss them with the person assisting with or administering your treatment, okay? So if you're going to the clinic or if I don't know if they can even go to your house. I don't know if cryotherapy works that way. But always, ask questions, make sure, they're legit, look at their certificate. I don't know if you need certifications, but I would assume so, because you need to kind of know what it is you're doing, which patients, this treatment would be best for, who wouldn't it be best for. I'm not sure if they have like some type of questionnaire they have you fill out before getting into the enclosed chamber of freezing temperatures. But like I said, it's always a good idea to consult your doctor before using any type of therapy, no matter what it is. If receiving whole body cryotherapy, it is recommended to wear dry, loose-fitting clothing and to bring socks and gloves to protect from frostbite. Wild, okay, that you can get frostbite within those 2 minutes. Again, I would really like to hear from those who have done cryotherapy sessions, the whole body ones. What was your experience like? Does the clinic, do they provide you the socks and gloves, or do you need to bring it upon entry? I mean, how does it work? Like I said, I've never done cryotherapy. I definitely would like to try once, the world opens back up, but I definitely want to hear from those who have done sessions and what was your experience like, because these are questions that I have, and I'm sure many other listeners who are tuning in right now also have these questions. And it's also said that during the therapy, during those 2 to 4 minutes of ice cold hell, to move around if possible to keep your blood flowing. So, I guess there's some wiggle room in there, so move around, do some jumping jacks if you can. And if you're getting cryosurgery, your doctor will discuss specific preparations with you beforehand, and this may include not eating or drinking, basically fasting for 12 hours before your surgery. And I believe I read that the cryosurgery process and preparation is pretty much the same as any other surgery, and where, you fast for 12 hours. So if your appointment for your surgery is at 6 a.m, you would start fasting at 6 p.m. the night before. So meaning no water, no food, no nothing. And this is so, I believe, when they give you the anesthesia, you don't get nauseous or have any negative side effects. I've never undergone surgery, so I'm not 100% sure of the, process and the preparations for surgery, but your girl does watch hella YouTube, and I watch a lot of YouTube videos of girls and guys getting like cosmetic procedures done. I don't know. I really enjoy those types of videos, and their experience of prepping themselves prior to surgery, it's all very similar. So again, I assume it's the same thing for cryosurgery. So with all of that being said, the tips and guidelines and the benefits and all that good stuff, the main takeaway is that there's plenty of anecdotal evidence and some research supporting the claims that cryotherapy can offer health benefits. But really important, you guys, whole body cryotherapy is still being researched. Like I said, it's still a fairly new phenomena out here in the fitness and health game. And because it's still being researched, again, talk to your doctor, talk to your healthcare provider to assess whether this is the right treatment for you. Okay. You never want to just hop in cold turkey and then, you end up getting even more damage. So that's definitely not what we want. We want to stay nice and healthy, keep those immune systems up, especially with this Miss Rona not wanting to leave. She has definitely overstayed her welcome, okay? She is irritating me. She needs to go. So you guys do what you can. Stay healthy. Stay safe out here. And that's going to wrap up today's episode here at the GSMC Fitness Podcast. Again, I was super stoked to talk about cryotherapy, as this is a new wave of hyper wellness in the industry. And I love talking about new things that are up and coming and really popular therapies that people are doing. So definitely stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss another episode. Like I said, the next one coming up will probably be about IV drip therapy. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all of that's good stuff, because that tremendously helps the show. And I'll catch you guys here next week.
You've been listening to the GSMC Fitness Podcast, part of the GSMC Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcasts on Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Google Play, and any app where you listen to podcasts. Just type in GSMC to find all of the shows from the GSMC Podcast Network. From movies to music, from sports to entertainment, from business news to weird news, we cover it all. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook and listen to these podcasts on YouTube. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's podcast.